You don't get to tell us who you are. We're going to make our own decisions based on what we see from you. In our episode of Drop the Stones this week that came out today, we're talking about this nice guy syndrome. And it was brought on by an experiment I heard about called the nice guy monkey syndrome. Or, not syndrome, but experiment. Where these scientists were observing this group of monkeys. And things were going the natural way of things. The dominant male in the group was the one that was being able to have the mates in the group. If you want to put it into human terms, the alpha of the group, the alpha bro, was the one that was passing on the genetic traits because, it's just natural selection. These are admirable, highest quality traits that you want to see passed on to the next generation. The biggest, the strongest, the best hunter, whatever. So that's what was being deemed out as the prime source of mating. But what was happening was the alpha would go out and do alpha things, kind of like we do, where they go out and be braggadocious and beat their chest and just focus on themselves, lifting themselves up, showing how great they are and how wonderful they are. And the other, as we would call them, beta monkeys, were coming in. While the female monkeys weren't being tended to by the alpha because he's doing alpha things, these betas would come in and just be nice. They would, do things with the female monkeys that would help them out and just showing them kindness and niceness and being a good guy. And these beta monkeys were getting their needs met from this. And I found it kind of interesting and humorous to see that this was happening, that these alphas that are so focused on themselves were allowing this to happen underneath their noses. And it made me think about this idea of nice guy and what's going on and how that's actually a more admirable trait, but it's truly about being a nice guy. The problem is that when we have the incels, and we get this in the episode, that are claiming that they're these nice guys, they're willing to take care of their ladies, they're willing to go all out, and they're going to treat them right. They're going to make sure that they have a house and make sure that they have, just things provided for them. But they're assigning roles to the women also of that means you got to stay at the house and you got to basically the whole gender role thing being played out. And they don't understand why women aren't attracted to this. It's like, well, I'm being nice. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. And it's not about them telling them what nice is, because they're really not treating the women nicely. They're trying to tell the women how to act, how to behave, how they're supposed to respond, and determining that, I'm going to set this rule over you. These are the rules you need to play, but I'm going to be the nice guy in here and allow this. And that's not a nice thing to do. And I find this true in a lot of people from evangelicalism and politics and everything else, this narcissistic personality of, I'm going to tell you what I am. I'm a nice guy. I'm going to do this and that and that. But the truth of the matter is that people are going to observe who you are by how you are in the world. People are going to see what kind of person you truly are. They're going to observe it, and you can't control the narrative, even though you may want to, and your narcissistic traits are going to want you to control the narrative and push that forward to make sure everyone sees you in a certain light. How people see you and observe you is going to be the ultimate factor in how they see and observe you and decide what kind of person you are. I know plenty of people, and have dealt with plenty of people in my life, that tell me that they're the most honest, integral, upright person in the world, that they would do, they're just this supreme being. But everything they do in their life points to the opposite direction. They're absolutely the least honest, the most deceitful, the most tricky, the least integral person that you'd ever meet. But they don't like that, and they don't like that being known, so they try to control the narrative. They're not nice guys. They're just trying to tell you that so that they can convince you that that's what it is. But if you don't give them the power to control your thoughts on them and let your observances actually be the reality and not what the reality that they want to push on you, then you'll see them for what they are, and you'll be able to treat them for what they are. And that's why these so-called nice guys in the world aren't finding women that are attracted to them. Because women are smart and can see and observe what you really are by the way you act. And they're not going to come and fall down to you just because you say you're something. And I just find that humorous. that all these people that want to push this narrative ultimately get destroyed just by being the people that they are.